Right, and we should now be live. Good evening, everybody. I'm just going to check everything is working correctly. It is. Good. How are we all doing this Sunday? Hello, Barger. Barger and King Giga are here, thank you. People have been, it's not been very busy on streams lately. I don't know whether that's just because people are busy or Evo isn't doing stuff, so people forget that Jurassic World Evolution exists, but we'll chug along nonetheless. How has everyone's Sunday been? Yeah, I know Evo's on a long break. I've just noticed that there's been a lot less people joining and watching my stuff as while she's been off. Which is a little gutting, but oh well. I'm glad to hear it, King Giga. By the way, should I suddenly disappear, it's possibly due to a power cut. We're being hit by quite a big storm at the moment in the UK, so don't get alarmed should anything go suddenly wrong. Okay, so what I want to do is try to do a carnivore enclosure in this gap here. Not a particularly big one, again, a bit like our herbivore enclosure over here, just something, you know, small-ish. But I want to make sure that people who are coming sort of this way will be able to see the enclosure from up here. So that's the goal. Average British weather. Yes, or rather, the weather has been rather problematic of late. We had a massive cold snap, and now we've got Storm Isha hitting us. So yeah, not the best weather that it could have been, but we do our best, right? So we need to think about what to do about along this back row here. I'm thinking I might just put some rocks in here, probably. Let's just lay out where I want this enclosure to be, first of all. Basically going to be sort of here. That's all. This is going to be the carnivore enclosure, which is actually fairly reasonable in size, actually.
No, I did not.
And to view it, we'll use well, I suppose it depends what we choose to have in here, actually. Yeah, we've got the wind at the moment. It's not too much rain down here in the south, but we've got the really strong winds. Thinking maybe. Is there something else we could use to put along that back row instead of rocks? I'm thinking. Hello, as Dark Day and Dino Army. Fletcher, I have a statement. The Zoo Tycoon 2 has a better park building system than the Jurassic World Evolution 2. Yeah, absolutely no. Yeah, I would 100% agree with you. But then that's because Zoo Tycoon 2's park building system has been designed by a company who is fully admitting of the fact they're building a park builder. You know, they don't keep lying to themselves and claiming it's a management game. I suppose we could use these pieces along this back row, maybe? Then if we're going to do that, we might as well just use fencing. Maybe something that's not so tall. Yeah. Okay, let's go with these. Why didn't Frontier do the same thing as Planet Zoo and accept that it's a park builder? I don't really know. I would love to be able to actually ask Frontier that question, but you know they'd never answer it, but it's a very good question that I think needs to be answered. Is this why this perception that you're building a management game and not a park building game? Maybe there's some... Maybe it's Universal that's responsible. Maybe Universal didn't want another park builder game, considering they've already got a few of them. And maybe it was just their attempt to try and do something different. Not that it achieved that, you know. Okie dokie. Also, sorry for my throat. The bad weather has set off my seasonal asthma, so I'm a little bit choky at the moment, so I do apologise. That'll do. We'll hide that with trees.
7.
With Planet Zoo, they knew they were building a park building game. Exactly. The only complaint I have with Zoo Tycoon 2 is that when a large animal leaves the water, it sounds like a gunshot. Britain has worse weather than the Middle East. Ooh, King Giga. Ooh, be careful. Given what's going on in the Middle East at the moment, I think we need to be a little careful about making statements like that. Now then, I'm thinking we could use one of these classic JPOG viewing domes in our carnivore enclosure. And that way we could do like a proper fence line along this edge. And maybe have something on this edge here. This one is going to have something in that's fairly dangerous, so I'm going to stick with using proper electric fences, but we will make sure they're not too close to the path. I want there to be a little bit of space so that we can do some decoration between the path and the fence line. Gonna have to manually place some trees in here, but that's fine. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll have a line of we need something relatively, because these things I think will be too big. Or maybe they won't be. Let's see if we can make it work with these. I am gonna make sure there's one at the end though. Just stick that one there. Yep. So wait, Britain is raining Tomahawk missiles. No, definitely not. Although it is quite blurry out there. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. There we go. There's a storm in Dublin right now. Yeah, so this storm that's hitting the UK is basically covered the whole thing. Like the main front, the weather front, is the length of the country. It goes all the way from Scotland down to, well, past the English Channel. It's actually hitting France as well. So the entire country is being hit by this. Our first proper storm of the year. Did I guess the length correct? I did. Look at that. Lovely. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to decorate this with plenty of vegetation. Going to start by putting a few rocks in here. We're going to go for those ones. Vary the rock types. Nothing that big. There we go. And now we're going to put down our vegetation to basically fill in this gap. We want it to not be too tall though. One type of vegetation I really like using for this is the... where are they? Is these from the desert packs? Tropical, sorry. If you shrink these down, they work quite well as sort of large coverage. As like a bushy sort of frondy thing. Something like that. And we'll put another one down over here. Try and rotate it this way around this time. Like that. And this one will bury in here. The most unrealistic thing about Zoo Tycoon 2 is that guests want to use donation boxes. Oof. Burnt trees and biosyn should be a free type. Change my mind. I agree with you there, actually. In my opinion, everything, in terms of asset-wise, everything the game has access to. So the burnt trees, the... you know, absolutely everything that the game has as terms of assets you should be allowed to use in Sandbox. That's just the way I think it should be. I mean, it does baffle me sometimes when you think about the design choices that have been made with this game. Like, I don't understand why. I mean, the usual answer is to resort to, oh, well, it's probably universal, but I'm like, really? All, some of these weird choices are down to universal? That can't be it. I mean, you see, that seems like a cop-out. It's like, oh, it's Universal's fault. It's got to be more of a reason for it than that. Maybe one more. I think that works quite well as a nice little bit of decorative flora between the path and the carnivore enclosure there. That's fine. That works. Now then, someone in chat, give me a biome idea for this particular enclosure. Something. Or give me an idea for how to design this particular carnivore enclosure. Something like a swamp? Winter? Desert? Fleshy? Starkid, what do you mean by fleshy? Actually, snow with cryo would be cool. Lots of meat. Love as it's cold. I think something with some snow wouldn't be too bad. Let's have a think. Let's try and combine not necessarily a swamp, but maybe do like a. Oh, why is that? Let's try and do like a sort of a river sort of affair. Because that island can then be where we stick our viewing gallery. Viewing dome. Perhaps. Although the dome really should be more in the center, shouldn't it? Let's bring that in then. That's a bit better. Okay. Big rocks. And let's go for a couple along this back wall as well. And just a couple along here. Okay, there's our rocks. Utahraptor won't cross rivers, won't it? It's tall enough. It must be tall enough to cross the river.
Yeah, we could.
I'm just putting in the biggest tree areas first. So I just want to make sure they're nice and planned out, and then we'll figure out the rest. I think we could do with a couple more along this back row here. Nothing too substantial. There we go, that's a little better. Are my polar bears Jesus? I swear I just saw one walk on water. Hello, sarcastically. We won't do any... I think I'm going to have to plan out this, the overlook. Because obviously I want there to be trees and stuff in here. But I don't want them to get in the way of the, I think we'll use the JPOG viewing vents again here. So I'm just going to place them in now. Or actually, what about... that is very large. I hate how everything is so big in this game as well. It's so oversized. Yeah, I think a couple of these, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to place down two, and we're going to have one kind of looking over from there, and one from there. Yeah, a couple of overlooks. I don't like those JPOG ones having a circular viewing area, that's weird. I really prefer the circular viewing towers, just because it means you can you can sort of stick them in the middle, because obviously with Jurassic Park Operation Genesis everything was based on a square. So you could place one in the middle and have like you'd only need one viewing tower to view everything in 4 dimensions around. The viewing gallery, in JPOG it was supposed to be attached directly to fences. But I like the sort of aesthetic these ones have. I think I'm gonna stick some flaming obelisks either side. But that is for later on. Right now, I need to put in our tree line. Nothing that gets too much in the way, I hope. Yeah, nothing getting in the way. And those trees just frame this view, so that's nice. I'm making a Serato. I shall name it Evo. Hello, Nicholas. Not very much. We're just getting the carnivore enclosure made. I'm going to stick in the viewing dome. And we're going to have it basically there. And oh, we've even got the little rocky entrance that the original one came with, which we'll stick it. No, not directly up against the fence. What I'm gonna do is just move it back slightly, and then we'll build like a rock, sort of like a rocky thing to go over there. Okay. So we want this to be snowy. There we go. We won't use too much snow. Actually going to play, talking of snow, it literally starts snowing. I'm going to put down a few more trees down. Give us a few more foliage areas in here. Always remember to vary that foliage in terms of height and what you're going for. Try and layer it as much as possible. I'm not actually sure what dinosaur to put in here. I wouldn't mind going with something a bit different. We'll have a look in the species viewer in a minute and figure out what we go for. There's a couple of mod species that I haven't actually used in a park yet, which I wouldn't mind having in this one. That's a little bit more forested. Put down... Am I the only one that really misses shale from the first game? I really miss that shale. Couple of frozen bits. Now I don't want it to be too snowy. Just put down like some light amounts here and there.
I might be seeing something here.
I think that's all right. Actually, instead of that one, I might go with that one. Yeah, that's better. I like shale. I did too. It was so useful for doing like riverbeds and stuff. We could do with a few toppled over trees in here, couldn't we? Just for decoration. I have way too many decoration mods. Yeah, happy with that one there. And we'll have one... buried in the water there. And we'll have one... yeah, there. Just a couple of trees. And what am I looking for? Carnivore feeders, that's what I'm looking for. Brain went dead for a moment there. And we will definitely have one there and one there. Huh. What's wrong with this? Unreachable by guests. Yeah, I know. We'll sort that out in a sec. Right, so there is the enclosure ready to go. Let's go and find a carnivore to put in it. Exit to main menu. Right, let's go look for a suitable carnivore. Something medium-sized, I think. That's not a thing. More decorations, yeah. I tried to go back to the first Jurassic World Evolution, and I just got so frustrated at the amount of waiting that you do in that game. Tyrannus or Cryo. I mean, I suppose something covered in feathers is a possibility. But I want to use. I haven't used this guy in the park yet, and I really want to. I really want to because he's got some really cool skin pad colors. He's got some very distinctive colorations. My daily life has been okay, Nicholas. Me and Dane have actually had some good news in the last couple of weeks, so it's actually been not too bad. How about you? Alberto, yeah, Albertosaurus. But then, if we're going for a snowy enclosure, I do think the feathers are probably important. And I actually haven't used Tyrannus in any park, so we'll go with Tyrannus. Let's... What sort of skin do we want? Quite like that, the warm oranges there. We'll stick like we did with the Parasaurolophus. We'll have some female and some male skins. So we'll do this one as the male. Let's go with...
I have to say, next decimal 2 this still scares me.
Let's go with a sort of Big Al-esque red horns and white stripes for the male. I think that's quite... So this is Tyrannus. Male is Sonoran Desert and Pulcrana. Right, now we need to find a female skin that works, basically. So we'll get rid of any coloration. And we need something that could match with a Sonoran Desert. Ooh, Salar del Huasco? Yes, Salar del Huasco works quite nicely. As does Limpopo River. Actually, I think Limpopo River works even better.
Which is why hexadecimal scares me, because I worked in hexadecimal. I am baby, I do not know these things.
Yeah, so Salar del Huasco for the female. That is basically how I do my male and female skins, is to pick a quite bright one for a male and then find one that basically looks like it's been washed out for the female. To go with that sort of bright skin for male, dull skin for female. Could we give that Salar del Huasco just a little bit extra? No, these are all quite distinctive colorations, aren't they? Okay. But that works. I'm happy with that. And I haven't used Tyrannus in any park, so... You're digging for Huango. Definitely one of my favourite stegosaurs. By the way, there was another Jurassic Architect video out this week, looking at doing guest plazas and making guest areas, so if you do struggle with that, you should give it a check out. Right. Where is my dinosaur manufacturing? There it is. For a Triassic DLC, I want Desmatosuchus, Eudimorphodon, Blatiosaurus, and Postosuchus. I think the only reason people say Postosuchus is because they're in love with the Walking with Dinosaurs representation, which is not actually what Postosuchus looks like anymore. There's been quite a lot of changes. Sonoran Desert and Pulcrana for the male. How many males? I think we'll have the one. Males can be troublesome. And we'll give him 2 females. I think 3 for this enclosure is a suitable number. There we go. I haven't actually seen life on our planet. Now, let's build up our area here for the viewing dome. Bugger. Pleased to welcome a Eutyrannus to the park. There you go. And we'll use this guest area for something. I shall figure that out. Let's build up the rocks around this this dome. Let's try and go with simple rocks. There we are. Maybe a couple of larger ones. That's too large. That's better. Right, we'll stick some trees in here. A few shrubs. Nice. Yeah, I think that size, it's not. I mean, this wall is a little low, maybe, but it's workable. And I think that they suit next to each other as male and female, I think. What is that sorcery? Fletcher, will you make a walkthrough exhibit? Possibly, somewhere, maybe, we'll see. Are people still massing in this area here? Well, I got a couple still trying to. People visiting the amenities. Really hope people start coming up here. We may have to put something over here, maybe a toilet or something, just to get people to walk around.
The only person apart from Wazu who's there.
I'm thinking, and just having a think about where I want people to leave from this lake. Like, where do I want access to the rest of the park to be? I think opposite the entrance, so here. There is this bit of straight line here, which would work quite well, I think. This is going to be our entrance to the rest of the park. And we'll frame it with trees. Don't want it to be quite that severe. Okay.
I think so, actually, yeah.
That should hopefully. That's not too steep, I don't think. Something has gone wrong here.
How much gold do you have?
It's not quite perfect, but I am... Am I happy with that? No, I'm not. That's better. Okay, so there's our route to the rest of the park. I'm going to line it with conifers, and then I basically want to sort of finish doing this lake area before I move on anywhere else. So I think maybe we could squeeze one more enclosure in, perhaps? Maybe one along here. And then have another amenity section here. And then that would be this area done, I think. Apart from decoration, but I do most decoration stuff off of Cam, don't I? So Let's just put the conifers in. Hello, Rob. When Frontier makes an update for Just Builders, the parks will be amazing. Yeah, the problem is I don't think they ever will. We need a couple that are orange in this mass, because you know me, I don't like just having one colour of vegetation. There we go. Nice. Excellent. Amenities area should be a KFC. Oh dear. No, no, no. We'll have no Kentucky Fried dinosaurs here. Germany has a weird map with good trees. The Germany map is another one of those maps I haven't never built a full park on because the weird shape kind of stops me building on it. But then again, this year I kind of want to build parks on the maps I don't regularly use. Once this one is done in Canada, I'm going to be doing one on the Grand Canyon map to prove that you can make something good with it. I already have a few ideas. So. Okay, let's build our second inclusion now. Oops. No, flatten. I am just going to give them a little bit more water. No water. Land. Oh god. I swear the brain is dead today. I've been playing Derail too much, I think. Right. So this will be another herbivore enclosure. I'm open to suggestions. What do people think for this enclosure? It's quite a big It's quite a big space, so actually we could put something... We could probably put a couple of species in here. Sauropod, Pachyrhinosaurus, an Edmonto. Maybe? I mean, we do already have a hadrosaur in the park. We have the Parasaurolophus, so I would quite like something that's not a hadrosaur in this particular enclosure. Let's put in our fence lines, or the invisible ones anyway.
I just have 50 platinum.
I have to put some rocks down here, I think. Pachycephalosaurus and Triceratops. We'll have a look in the species viewer in a minute. I tempted to do something...
Not very
with...
a bunch of stuff for her.
Okay, we'll have another viewing vent down
Oh
here.
yeah, that's one reason I put your
Because it makes sense to.
I can live with that. It means tearing into fucking rock tricks.
Does it?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of sticking quite a lot into the enclosure there. Maybe this one, it will just be an enclosure that people don't have anything but like glass windows or something, maybe. Yeah. Let's do something like that. Where are those glass window sections? These aren't straight. Let's try that again. I know Iguanodon is not a hadrosaur. Technically, it's classified as an iguanodontid. But to me, iguanodontids and hadrosaurs are pretty interchangeable. While they're a very distinctive, different family groups in terms of dinosaurs, to me, they're basically the same. So I kind of... whenever I'm building a park, I always put them as basically they're the same sort of animal. Maybe... I really hate how hefty this concrete fencing looks. If it was a little shorter... Good night, sarcastically. Okay, If we are going to put this concrete fence around, I want there to be plenty of gaps in it for more viewing. So let's put another gap in here. 1, 2, 3. Let's put in some more fence. And I think another gap here. And this one will just go right up to the rocks we're going to put down in here. Righto, Rob. See you later. Yep, like that. Right. What sort of habitat shall we have for our whatever goes in here? We've had snowy, we've had like a... What do we do for the Parasaurolophus? I think we just went for a sort of a generic sort of style. I would quite like something where the water flows all the way through, because I have an idea for something. It's a little big. It is a little chunky. I want the water to kind of go up closer to that rock there. So we can put in a fountain or two. Fountain. That's acceptable. Once I've put some foliage around it, it'll do. River plain, desert. Like winding river, mostly grassland, but a few stands of trees. Yeah, I could do something like that. Only difficulty is getting the river to meander, but there's a bit of a curve there. I think that's doable. Let's have a... Oops. Let's try and adjust this course of this river a bit. Let's give it a lot more curve. That's a bit better. Happy with that. Right, since we're going for something grasslandy, I can get rid of this sand. At least here. We'll fill the river with sand. There we go. We're not putting too much of the sand in. I want to try and keep some of the surrounding rocks to make it look like there's a bit of a bed there. Okie dokie. Let's put in the rocks. Let's put in the ones along the back first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's have another couple there. So bigger one there. Let's have some rocks and trees there. I have a few trees there. And then I want there to be a kind of I want this to look like it was once like a an arch. Could do with maybe one more. And one more there. And one more there. And then we're going to put down some rocks. Hello, Cryolophosaurus. No terrain constraints. How? What? No way. That's the power of modding, I'm afraid. And there we go. So it looks like there was once an archway here, but it's been kind of... it's collapsed. That's the sort of look I wanted to go for there. We'll use European trees with a few of the non-European ones. For addition. We have the tallest trees down here. that.
Let me cross a bridge.
And then we'll have smaller trees down here.
Like here or something.
And then here we might just have a couple of big ones. And same here, we'll bed this in with vegetation. Again, stick a couple of different colours in. Switch back to our wonderful greens. Beautiful. You're on console. It is one of those horrible things. As much as I know that console players get frustrated by YouTubers like me and Best and Slot and others using mods, in my opinion, the game just isn't good enough without them. And I actually hate this game without mods. Without mods, this game is just not very good. It's missing too much. It's missing too much. Plus, as I'm very fond of saying, a lot of good park building comes from sort of basic techniques that modding doesn't actually help with. So when people tend to blame, they say they can't make good parks because they don't have mods like modders do. It's like, no, you can make good parks without them. Mods just make parks better. They don't make for good parks on their own. I think, apart from a few more fir trees here, I think that's ready for some animals now, I think. Perfect. We'll put down some grasses and flowers and such. I think actually we could do with just a few more plants down here. It's looking a little empty around this lake here. That's a bit better. Right, let's put in some flowers. And some mixture there. Let's put in a few more there. And some around the lake. Good. Let's just put a few more in there. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's ready to go. I think. Hopefully there's enough here to feed. That's a good point. We may have to put a few things in for stuff to eat. Let's put in some ginkgo. You can't go wrong with a bit of ginkgo. Hopefully that will be sufficient for whatever we decide to put in here. We'll see. It's a bit too forested now, though. Might have to add the fern cover thing. Well, let's see. It's a bit too forested. Is Planet Zoo coming to console? As I'm a bit short on the old announcements. We'll see if any dinosaurs struggle. I mean, we've got lots of ground fibre around. And ground leaf. I mean, if we just put some more ground leaf down. Whoops. We'll see what dinosaurs. We'll see what the dinosaurs think. Let's go and pick a couple. I reckon we could get 2 species in here if we don't put too many in. I think maybe 3 of each, 4 of each, depending on what we go for. Let's go have a look. I think Colt is determined to have Pachyrhinosaurus in there. Even though it's the one Ceratopsian I detest the most. I just think it's very ugly looking. Agreed, the ginkgos do make it too shady. Yeah, I thought so. Let's have a look. Styraco is definitely out. Sinoceratops I barely use in my parks. I vote Pachyrhinosaurus as well. Okay, fine. Fine. We'll do Pachyrhinosaurus. Let's see. So males will make. Let's see what male. Let's give the males this yellow and blue. I think that's quite striking.
I thought that was with the AMAs that we moved slightly quicker along. I could be wrong.
Yay, we love nicely bullying you. Yes, of course. Limpopo River? You know, I think that looks best with Svalbard or Limpopo. We'll go with Limpopo. So, the Pachyrhino will go Limpopo River and Pelophylax for the males. The females will just get rid of the pattern and we'll make... That's too much of a difference between those two. I think the females will have to make Chaplin Valley because it's the only one that goes. It's kind of a lighter shade. It's a lighter shade of the darker shade. Might work. We'll see what they look like. And then we need something to live with them. So something with a different shape. I'd like something with a bit of a different body shape. Struthy. Any good? No, that's the odd thing, King Gear. Actually, there isn't that many people that do herbivores as new species. Lots of carnivores, not many herbivores. Which kind of demonstrates what people are interested in, really, doesn't it?
Interested in some of the clinical flowers regardless.
I am thinking maybe Camarasaurus. Because Camarasaurus is kind of our shortest tool browser. Let's see. Let's see. What colours have we got going on here? I do love that blue. Actually, I quite like that. Okay, we'll go Kamara. And we'll only have 2. 1 male, 1 female. We might get 3 in. We'll see how it looks with 2, and then we'll put more in if we have space. So the males are Gambia River and Paul Krana. And the females want something that's... Okay, let's get rid of that. Maybe give them like... let's get no pattern and... Okay, let's make the females no pattern. Actually, let's make the females the Pelophylax. Gambia and Pelophylax. Because the Pelophylax pattern doesn't really stand out. Well, Jurassic World Evolution 2 doesn't seem to be finished on anything, not just console Cryolophosaurus. I do know that their console players seem to report a lot more bugs and glitches than PC players, but I think one of the problems with that is I think a lot of the bugs and glitches are performance related, which the PC kind of hides. But I agree with you that there is so many bugs and glitches in this game. It's terrible. Right, Pachyrhinosaurus. Where are we? There we are. So Limpopo River and Pelophylax is our males. And we'll have 2. And our females are just Chaplin Valley. And I think we'll have 3. They need ground fiber. There's plenty of ground fiber in this enclosure, so they should be okay. We'll give them a second to drop in. While they're doing that, I just want to quickly...
We are pleased to welcome a Pachyrhinosaurus to the park.
A Pachyrhinosaurus to the park. I still think Operation Genesis did it better. Bum 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 bum.
We are pleased to welcome a Pachyrhinosaurus to the park.
Ah, and we could do with putting down a few rocks at this end, just to disguise the edge of the enclosure there. There we go. We need another chunk of this fencing kind of there, and we need another bit kind of there. Bum 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 bum. Oh, there was a little tool, actually. It's a little high up. Just drop it down by a bit. Good. Good. Right, let's make those Camarasaurus. And let's Gambia and Pulcrana. And we'll grab one. And then it was Gambia and Pelophylax. See, I love the fact that that shows that as white on blue, and it's nowhere near white. There we go. And we'll have one of each, and we'll just see how crowded the enclosure feels before we put anything else in here. Fletcher, when are your predictions for World War III? What the fuck? That's not the sort of thing I think... You know, I don't spend my days thinking about when World War III might happen, you know. I think it will happen, but I don't know when. I am thinking, like, maybe we could get away with having one of those viewing logs in here. Maybe here. Maybe here. If that was... Why did you... Did you see how much terrain that removed? My God. You'll have to free place it, yeah. But then I'm not sure where to have the entrance. Like, have another entrance down here. I mean, I did kind of want to leave this one as one of those enclosures you have to look into. You don't have a viewing thing there. But then I'm concerned that people won't actually move around this way. Guests. You know, I think those 2 Camarasaurus, 5 Pachyrhinosaurus, I think actually is suitable there. I don't think much more is necessary. So, I'm going to spend the rest of this stream just finishing off this area, basically. Let's put in some decorations. Nice. This is kind of a nice little guest area here. We want to separate it off from the main thoroughfare, maybe just with... You know, this would be where some decorative, low fencing would be really great. I wish Kyodenic would update his mod. Because these are way too big. Okay. We'll use a couple of these. Then I think we definitely have space for a fountain here. But maybe not a huge one. That one might still be too big. No, I'm happy with that. Right, benches. Benches. I just want to kind of put a couple in between each of the lights here. I mean, it does risk people falling backwards into the fountain, but as long as they're not stupid, which admittedly is asking for a lot. Okie dokie. Wait, Fletcher, so in the lore, biosing gets the DNA for the dinosaurs from the amber mines, right? Well, that's the throwaway line, isn't it? They say they've been getting amber from the mines. Not that I think it makes much sense. But then not very much of Dominion did make sense. Give our blue blacklit window areas. Make the fountain... Ooh, that green is a bit much. The orange is a little nicer, I think. We'll go with orange. Then... I think we could do with some more general seating in here.
Yeah, I have fun with it.
Maybe a few picnic benches along here. Couple of picnic benches. And we'll give each of these sort of glass windows a couple of benches as well. That's a bit unnecessary. And I want some obelisks in here. Nice. And I want a couple more lighting poles here. We are going to change the color of those. Since us going into the carnivore enclosure, we'll make that red. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think that's a reasonable... Ooh, a reasonable little guest area for viewing into this enclosure. Oh, hello, Pachyrhinosaurus. You all doing okay? And, yeah, maybe a couple more Kamaras wouldn't be too much. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about this enclosure. do need to put the rest of the lighting in there. One, two, three, four. One. Two. Three. Four. Change this back to that backlit blue. Really love how this blue looks through the bias-in colours, through the bias-in lights. Really just highlights those windows nicely. There we go. You have McDonald's with chicken nuggets, but this place may have McDonald's with compy nuggets. Did you mean to put McDonald's down twice? I think this is looking very nice, though. I think the Tyrannus, I think we went with a good skin combination for that. I like our little decorative walkway we have here. I need to remember to use more of those. I think the orange works better than the yellow. Maybe a pale green? More pale than that? Yeah. I think that's looking quite good. Hello Glitz, you come in just towards the end of the stream. I'm going to put in another guest area in this gap here. Probably be able to do it quite quick. Let's go with just a shopping. Make it like a gift center. Or gift shop area. So we're going to put one in there. And then we're going to have guest bathrooms attached onto it. Some flagpoles.
That's when you go bird.
Where are those? Right. We want this to be panels. We want the roof to be wood with stairs. We'll go with let's see, large Jurassic World panel. We'll put the entrance there. We'll put some seats up here. It's you know, it's strange for a shop to have seating, but maybe it has, you know, coffee, like a coffee shop in there or something. So I know quite a lot of the bookshops around here in this country have like coffee shops in the top. Yeah, Glitz, remember they start at 9 o'clock British time. Right, and then let's do like a... This is cooling out for another fountain here. Let's put in some trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, nice. No worries, code. Okie dokie. Let's put in some picnic benches. Actually, no. Let's put in some of the normal chairs and seating here. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's put a couple in over here. Let's put some picnic benches in down here. So 1 and 2. Maybe a third? No. Just the 2. We'll put some normal benches around the fountain. So 1, 2, 3. Five. Just for people to sit on if they're waiting for someone to come out of the loo. We'll put... I quite like a statue to be here. We got Y Tyrannus down here, don't we? So where is a U Tyrannus statue? Let's have a look. And we'll have one in the fountain. That works. We got a Camarasaurus in here as well, don't we? I want to put the Camarasaurus statue somewhere. I'm just not sure. That's the wrong one. Just not sure where, because it is, you know, very tall and does kind of tend to loom over places, although that works quite nicely. Maybe have one at the end here. Maybe another one. Ah, we got Pachyrhinosaurus, don't we? Actually, let's put in a Pachyrhinosaurus statue as well. I want to have statues of most of the animals that we got down here. Pachyrhinosaurus. Put a couple around the bathroom. There we go. I think that looks quite nice. Probably want to put some lighting in. I'll just do that before I go, since we are at the end of the stream, 11 o'clock, but I want to just make sure we get a few things finished up. Lighting color. Yeah, time does go quick when you're having fun, I suppose, is the old saying. So orange lights around where people are sitting. Make the fountain nice and red since we've got a U Tyrannus there. Actually, maybe make it blue, and I'll have some red lighting underneath it. Let's just get that done quickly. Let's grab the lantern, move it, bring it up. Ugh. Okay. It's going to be fussy. Change the color to red. Why is that one red? Does that look better? Yeah, that's a little bit better. Nice. Well, there we've done it. In this stream we've managed to finish the lake area entrance, the lake entrance area of the Canadian Reserve. We've got our and added 3 extra species to the park. I think it's looking good so far. Then we can move on to other areas of the park. Next Sunday will not be Jurassic World Evolution 2. What I'm going to do next Sunday is do Prehistoric Kingdom. So we're going to make a start on a Prehistoric Kingdom park next week, and we'll see how much I can get done in the stream. I have a suspicion not very much. I know I haven't been able to put out a War Thunder or Baldur's Gate 3 video yet. It's because I haven't been able to record it with Fallout yet. Hopefully next week there'll be nothing to get in the way of that, so we can do it, get that going, and hopefully Friday there'll be War Thunder or Baldur's Gate on Friday. I have played it before, Colt, so don't panic. I will probably, spend a few hours before the stream just getting a grip on the controls and stuff again, so I'll be able to know what to do. But yeah, that's it. And next week obviously there'll also be a dinosaur content video. Possibly, since we did Jurassic Architect this week, I'll probably do just try and get one of the other parks finished and do a park tour. Maybe my ultimate or my first sort of Nublar build. We'll see. I might do something a bit different. We'll see. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you have not already done so. I hope wherever you are, you have a good rest of your Sunday. And until next time, stay safe and good night, everybody.